This is Taiwan. If you look up the translation of Taiwan in other languages, you'll see that their words are similar. Some languages call it Taiwan, others call it Taiwan. You get the picture. However, it has had other names in the past. Very little has been recorded of what happened in Taiwan before the 17th century. But we do know that the Aboriginal people of Taiwan have been here for thousands of years. One name given to the island by at least some of Taiwan's indigenous peoples that we know of is Pecan. This name was used in some very old maps. Chinese explorers visited a place called Liuqiu as early as the Sui dynasty, which many believe to be Taiwan. However, this could also have been the Ryukyu island chain or Taiwan's Liuqiu Island. We don't know. In 1544, Portuguese sailors discovered Taiwan and named it Ilha Formosa, which translates to beautiful island, and the description was pretty accurate. Unlike Pecan or Liuqiu, Formosa became widely used across the world for a long time. Western media continued to refer to Taiwan as Formosa well into the 20th century. Now we move on to the name Taiwan, the one we're all familiar with. Where did it come from? The most far-fetched theory I've heard is that the name goes back to the Han Dynasty and was written down in a book called Record of the Han Dynasty. But none of the currently existing copies of that book contain any reference to Taiwan. Another theory was formulated by Abe Akiyoshi in 1937. He said that the word Taiwan came from the words Tai'an and Taiyuan, which were based on words the Siraya in southern Taiwan used to refer to Chinese settlers. According to Abe, the Chinese settlers took these names and turned them into the names of the city of Tainan and the island of Taiwan. When the Dutch settled near modern-day Tainan in the 17th century, they recorded the name of the area from the locals as Taiyuan and spelled it in various different ways. And then they started to use those names to refer to the whole island, and that became Taiwan in Chinese. The word Taiwan might also have come from the Taiwan people, an Aboriginal group. This is how you write the word Taiwan in Chinese. The one on the top is the official way to write it, while the one on the bottom is also acceptable. These are written the same way regardless of whether you are speaking Mandarin or Hokkien or Hakka. In Hokkien, or the Taiwanese dialect, which would have been the main language of the 17th century Chinese settlers in Taiwan, this is pronounced Daiwan. In Mandarin, it's pronounced Taiwan. This name first appears in writing in 1635, though many other combinations of characters with similar sounds were also used. It was made the official name when the Qing dynasty took over Taiwan in 1684. On a side note, I had a conversation with someone who told me that Taiwan was part of India. He based this on the name Chinese Taipei, which he was convinced was something that people in Taiwan actually identified with and not a relatively recent political compromise. I can't find it now, but apparently there's an Indian language where the word for island is Taipu, so that means Taiwan is part of India. Yeah.